Okay, I think we are recording.
Right.
How you doing, Mrs. Cardinale?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very good.
Good.
So what I wanted to talk to you today, I think the name of today's episode is going to be something like, Mrs. Cardinale, how do we get kids connected at TMS?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why.
That's my thing.
That's why you're here. And so, I've been doing a lot of reading on, 11, 12, and 13-year-olds.
Okay.
And just where they are developmentally, and everything that I read talks to you have to be very proactive about getting kids connected to the school in some way. It doesn't have to be anything deep or profound, but you have to do things.
Right.
And so I think a real simple example of that is, do you have an intramural program where kids can play sports against each other and compete? And so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about a lot of things because we do so many things to connect with kids that it's almost hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's like I'll have a parent,
right.
say, hey, my kid's a little, disconnected. What can we do? And I'm like, well, here's 400 things. It's almost overwhelming. So I was hoping today to just, we'd leave with parents having a pretty good understanding of what we do here to make kids feel good about coming to school.
I'm all about it.
All
so
right.
I've learned too, and I've heard studies that kids that are connected, they want to come to school, it's fun, there's an adult who has seen them, heard them, they feel known, seen, they want to go to school, right? So, and they do better academically too. Yeah. So I try to get everyone on board. Like the more we can get these kids connected, the better they're going to do across the board. So, there's lots of ways for kids to get connected here. Everything from like a silly spirit day, just feeling like excited to come to school because they get to dress up and do whatever, all the way to, like a club that is their elective. So, and then we've got after school events and we do lots of stuff at lunch. So if we can get kids excited to come to school, they're just going to have a better time. They're going to want to be here and they're going to learn more and enjoy it. Right. So that's kind of the main thing.
And so, you touched on like the first thing is we have, led by the ASB, and we can talk a lot about the ASB and what that is and who they are, because there's certainly kids and parents who are interested in what that's about. But we have tons of organizations we really should talk about. But we do a lot of fun, like almost like silly stuff.
Right.
But then we do like super serious stuff too, because some kids are into that, like jazz band or the Green Club or whatever it might be. So let's talk a little bit about your organization. You're the ASB director.
Yes.
And so let's talk about who are the ASB kids, how did they get there? And so maybe if we can kind of pin down how one organization works, then we can kind of talk about how branch off from there.
Okay, so for ASB, the student leaders, I have an elective. It's only 7th and 8th grade. So let's talk about that first. So in the spring, we always do a week-long club rush, and that's for all clubs. Yeah. And we push out all the information about each different club. And then if they're interested, they contact that club advisor, and then they get, if it's an application, then they apply. If it's just a pop-in, anyone can come, then they'll get that information. So for ASB, it's an application process. And like last year, I think I had 80-something applicants, and I have one class. So
what do they have to do?
So it's kind of a lot. They have to reach out to me first. So the first thing is like, can they even email a teacher, right? And then I send them an application. The application has lots of questions about why they'd be great. I need teacher recommendation, GPA information, and then they have a little task. So sometimes it's like make up a spirit day and talk about it. Sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's a Canva.
That's great.
So it's a whole process, and then I get teacher recommendations after that. And then they get rostered into my elective class. Now, that's 7th and 8th grade only, but I do take 6th graders as well. So after we come back from summer, my 6th graders are now here. We'll do another club rush. So we actually have 2 club rushes twice a year. In the fall, we do one right after we get back from summer break, and they can apply then. So those kids will be added to my Pride class. So I have a 6-period elective leadership, and then those kids stay, and then my Pride kids come in, and so I have more. That's kind of a long story, but it's great because I can get those 6th graders to start to see what ASB is and get them involved in being leaders on campus.
It's like pre-ASB.
Yeah. So they still go on all their trips. They still wear shirts every Monday. It's a whole thing. So that's how ASB works, and some of them are similar to that. And then there's other ones that are only Pride. Those clubs will meet. Some of them don't meet during any necessarily like a time of the day, but they'll do after school or lunchtime so. It just depends on the club, but we push out all the information for the club so the kids know. Some are great writers, so they want to be on the newspaper group, so they're going to apply for that. Or our yearbook kids love to take photos and interview, and we've got science stuff. So there's just so much.
Right.
Like you said, it's like hard to really put it all in.
Right. And well, you struck on something that's it's confusing for people who work here.
Yeah.
So if you have something like ASB, we mostly think of that as that's an elective. That's an actual class.
Yeah.
There's not tons of those.
No.
Because that's a full hour every
Right.
day. And so let's see if we can name a few. So we've got ASB is definitely one. We've got some STEM classes that kids can sign up for.
Advanced art. So once you get to be the 8th grade, 7th grade. We have yearbook as an elective.
Absolutely.
And then of course your band or your choir, when you sign up for those,
Hundreds
those are going to be that's your elective.
And that's even more. That's something that 6th graders can do.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not tons of options in 6th grade outside of band and choir. And the expectation, if you do that, is really you're in that for 3 years.
Right.
Most kids who sign up are 95%
they
stay for all 3 years.
Our programs are so great.
Yes,
our
exactly.
band and our choir is the best.
Ideal.
So,
They're the best programs in the Valley, and I always say we could put we're an arts prototype school or an arts magnet, and we would have to change nothing because we're that good.
Really that good.
We're that good.
Yeah.
So there's the elective. Then we also have ones that are during the advisement period, so they get half an hour a day, basically. And so that's like Green Club, that's like jazz band, school newspaper.
Maybe video production.
Video production has a little
So some of them have that half hour,
right,
which is perfect, and then they still get an elective.
Right.
So the kids that want to stay on the circuit of all the different, we have great electives.
Right.
So it's kind of a bummer that you only get the one because. Yeah, it's great to be in ASB, but then you're missing out in art.
Yeah, you can't be in band and choir.
Right, and band choir and all of our other great ones.
Sure.
So then it's like, okay, what if I do Green Club? I can get together with my group. I can make this campus cleaner, better, do those kinds of fun sciencey things, but I can also be in band or choir.
Band or choir, or one of the other ones, like amazing. A STEM elective.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific. Okay, so, and then we also have lunch and after school clubs.
I know, it's so fun.
There's so many. And so those, everything we've talked about so far are kind of school driven, like we have to have an ASB. That's, if you're going to have one thing, you're going to have an ASB, but then we've branched off and have some more things. Same thing with Pride. Pride is really, what do our kids want every year? What are our teachers good at providing?
Yeah.
And so we have that. Lunch and after school clubs are a little bit different.
Right.
Those are really like the student's idea. It's really on the student to say, hey, we really need a chess club or a robotics club. And so when a kid tells me that, I just go find a teacher who wants to be the advisor and get it started. So a good example of that right now is we have a bike club.
I know.
Which,
cool.
I know, which isn't biking. They literally take the bikes apart, put them back together, do all the repairs, and then donate the bikes to charity.
Coolest thing. Yeah.
Amazing. And
running club after school.
Running club, that's right.
We've got a tennis club that sometimes meets and depending on
we've had chess club, we've had science club after school.
Student venture during lunch.
Student venture.
We've got all kinds of cool stuff. So there's so many ways for kids to get connected.
Right.
And they want to be connected.
Sure.
Again, everyone wants to feel a part of something.
Right, and what we've noticed is we're starting to implement 5-star, and 5-star is a program that's like at the high school it's on their phone,
right?
But here we just use like their student ID, or they can punch in their student number, but it's really a way of tracking who's getting involved and participating. What are you seeing with that?
I'm so excited. So we've started slow with it because it's a whole new program, but the kids all have access to it. And then what we're doing is we're giving points for coming to an event, going to after school tutoring, dressing up for the spirit day or whatever.
We should do it for the teachers too.
Yeah, I know. We need to get the teachers on there. And then that's cool because they get to go and use those points to purchase cool little knick-knacky things. We're going to open a student store and maybe come up with some other ideas of ways to use those points.
Right.
And the kids love it. The kids love to see that they're earning points. And for me, it's great because I can see what kids are getting plugged in. Is it the same kid that's always dressing up? Is it different kids that are doing different ones? Are the same type of kid going to the events or whatever? Who am I not reaching? And how do I get to those?
It's almost the more points you have, the less we're worried about you because you're obviously involved. You're participating. Right. And so can parents see their students' point totals?
That's a good question. I don't think parents have access to
Could they ask their student
but
though?
They can. The students all do. So I mean, it's just a question of like, can you show me your 5-star?
Yeah.
And the kids are still just getting it going. Like we started with just using it for bathroom passes, but now we use it for points. So it's new, and I haven't even tried the student store yet. So this is going to be something that's new, but we're starting to use it and it's giving us good data, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, I was amazed how many students when I went through already have tons and tons of points, and we're really haven't even started.
I know.
The official starts in January.
Yeah, I'm excited. So it's getting it going.
Okay, let's talk about something we don't have, but we get a lot of questions about. And you're also in the PE department, so you know a lot about this. Is we often get asked, do we have sports teams?
Right.
We kind of do, but we kind of don't.
Yeah, so we do get that a lot because you'll see kids around town wearing TMS Podcast and they're wearing their softball jersey. So it's like, where do I sign up for that? Unfortunately, we on our TMS campus, we don't have coaches. We don't do signups for those things. But the city got smart and they said, hey, why don't we put all the kids at TMS on the same team? Then we can just call them the Bobcats, and they can also feel like a part of something, because when they come to school, they're like, hey, my teammate. Right. So you go, if you want to play volleyball, you go to forza1.com and sign up, and then it's a drop down, you press TMS, and now you get put on the Bobcat team. Right. So yeah, you'll see them all around town. It's not through, you don't call TMS, you don't contact the PE teachers. Right. We can give you information.
If they win the championship, we usually get the trophy.
Yes,
we'll put
for
it in
sure.
the
And I do post on Instagram when they're, if parents send me stuff and everything, I love
and staff
to
like
them.
to go. We often don't get schedules.
I have a board in my room and I'm like, tell me all your games, because I try to go.
Okay.
But it's great because if people like, the parents will send me, hey, our softball team's crushing it, we're in the semifinals, blah blah blah, here's a picture, I'll post it and on Instagram, and then we can cheer them on. Yeah,
we totally support it, but we don't run it.
Right.
Yeah, and so we don't have an athletic department like the high schools do to check GPAs, attendance, and all that stuff. We don't want to hire coaches. You know, the rec system seems to handle it really well.
But go Bobcats.
Yeah, go Bobcats. We hope they win everything. Okay, so we talked about so if I'm let's say I'm a 5th grade parent and I've got a student coming, what should I be considering?
Okay, I love that you asked that, because I want to lay that out so that parents know, especially those incoming. Okay, so the band and choir will go to those schools and they'll do like a little presentation and get the kids excited to sign up, because our programs, did I say that they're the best?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I mentioned that, because they really are. And so a lot of kids will sign up right out of the gate for those programs, and then they'll stick with them for 3 years because they're so great. Mm-hmm. If not, and they're not interested in that and they want to wait, they'll come to TMS. They just get put through the whatever classes are available, and they'll plug them into our amazing options. Right. And then in a few weeks in, we'll do a club rush. So early September, and we'll, through the announcements and all the information, newsletters and whatnot, we'll say, okay, club rush is happening. Mm-hmm. Here's all your clubs. Here's all your options. Again, most of the 6th graders aren't going to sign up for an elective that is a club, which I love, because I want them to go and see all of the options, like get a little bit of all the things before you're plugged in to ASP for 2 more years or whatever. Like, go see what else you got. Great art program.
We've got new STEM career choices program.
So they'll see all the options that are lunch, after school, or maybe Pride only, and they can sign up during that week. So I tell parents, first week of September, ask your kid, hey, is it Club Rush? I send emails to all the parents, all the students. Club Rush is happening. That's the week to figure it out and get involved. Reach out to the club advisor. It's all on the newsletter. It's all in the announcements. And get the information you need. Like, if you're super into science and you are about cleaning up the earth, or whatever, here's the contact for Miss Calverley, because she does the Green Club. So that's the week you're going to get plugged in. Yes. So don't stress before school starts. We will provide all the information for you. You will have a way to get plugged in. And then they'll know what to do, because in the spring, as they're going to be 7th grader, they can apply for those clubs that are electives.
ASB's kind of, it's very prestigious. Mm-hmm. So you get tons of applications. Yeah. But most of our clubs are looking for members. I mean, they are recruiting heavily. Right. So when you hear from a student, I didn't know, no one told me. Not true. It's on the announcements. Like, we're doing classroom visits. We're sending emails to parents. We are really trying to get kids
I'm sending all the annoying emails to all the parents, but if you don't erase them and you look through them, look for the Club Rush weeks, because those are important.
Well, that's a good topic for a podcast. Like, how many emails can a school and a district send you in a week?
I know it's annoying, and I'm like, I try to pick my back. Like, once a month maybe, and I don't send that many. Yes. I feel pretty good about that. I know. But I try to put a lot of stuff in there, so please don't erase it.
Okay. In general, everything you said, you laid it out very good. I would say, 6th graders who aren't in band and choir,
yes,
you know, there's not tons of options, but once you get to 7th grade, really everything's an option then.
And again, I like it that it's that way because and there are a lot of options as far as like lunch after school. We've got lots of clubs. They can still apply for some of the Pride only once they get on campus.
Right.
But don't stress before you get here. Once you get here, we'll lay it all out for you.
Right.
There's lots of options. And even just, we do lunch activities every week.
Yeah.
You know, we do our after school,
right? You get 5-star points for doing it.
Yes, you get points. Yeah. And then right out of the gate, we have our 6th grade only welcome back party for just our 6th graders. So again, another way for kids to just get plugged in and do something fun. Right. So there's lots of opportunities, but don't stress before school starts.
Last thing, and we covered this with Mrs. Pearson in another podcast, but you know, there's going to be some big changes to our advisement period, our Pride period. And so it's, again, you know, we offer all these, you know, programs to the students, and there's still a couple of hundred who, you know, even by 8th grade have never really selected or chosen to be in anything. Yeah. So now we're forcing the issue a little bit, and we're saying, no, we want to know, are you want to be in murals? Do you want to do like a book club? Do you want to be in like you know, whatever you want to be in? And there's going to be lots of options moving forward. So it's nice that you know, students who you know, maybe didn't feel confident in selecting you know, an Explore or a club, they're going to get something to connect and try and have fun anyway. And it sounds, you know, might sound counterintuitive to say like we're trying to invent more fun during school day, but it's how kids
invent more fun.
They are 12 years old, you know,
let's
they don't have something to look forward to in the day, then we need to create something that they're excited about.
And so give us your ideas, what's cool, what's trending. Everything I think is cool and trendy is not. So if you're interested in something and something sounds fun, we could probably make it happen. We just gotta find. So if the kids that aren't getting plugged in, it's because, you know, they don't feel like something's available to them that they want, let us know. And every kid on this campus knows I'm run ASB. It's great because I'm out on the blacktop, so I get to see every single kid, right?
Because you're PE teacher.
And I'm the crazy person in the front of school doing crazy things with music and candy and dancing as a crazy person. So every single person knows who I am. Email me, give me your crazy ideas. Let's see if we can make it happen. I am all about getting every single kid plugged in. So I'll do everything I can to make that happen. So let's do it.
I think that's a great place to end it.
I think that's great.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Cardinale.
Of course.
I appreciate it very much. Okay.